Well, didn't think I'd be making a team builder with the draft analysis in it, like literally ever. I always expected to do the smart thing and do a separate one for views. However, this is going to include the draft analysis in the week one team builder because I simply did not have time to upload the draft analysis because of Legends Arceus. I grinded out so many videos, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the views were 100% worth it. Like, I am so sorry for the late APA. UBL wasn't late, and no draft analysis for this, but let me go ahead and just talk about this league, what it is, and what's going on. This is the ICP. If you remember last season, we made it to semifinals. We had Aegislash plus Rain, really broken team. Lost to Mario in what was realistically a super close game. But yeah, very fun last season, and I'm looking to do the same thing this season, but hopefully this time get the finals and then win the whole thing. So the team that I got is up top, the top two, the bottom two are my opponent this week. Let's go ahead and talk about the team that I drafted real quick. That way you guys know kind of sort of what I was looking at. I was looking at getting just a bunch of pivoting plus setup threats. As silly as that sounds, that's really what I was going for. So I went with Mew, Sylveon, Scizor as my first three picks. I had like third pick overall. I had third pick overall. And first off, let me just say, I'm really mad. I offered the two people above me, I offered them $20 each to not take Urshifu so that way I could use it. The guy who was first said, yeah, man, no worries, I'll take the $20. And then he picked it anyway. And then ended up getting kicked from the league because he was a freaking sorry, that was probably a little too much, but yeah. So I was very mad about that. Very salty about that. I was like, lit, I can finally get a chance to use Urshifu. I'm so excited. But no, but I still got Mew. So like, it is what it is. But I really dislike drafting around Mew because you have to basically draft as though Mew does not exist. You have to draft everything else. Like, Mew doesn't even exist that way. You have everything else. Like, you have to get a T-Spiker, you have to get a Spiker, you have to get good removal, you have to get good pivoting, you have to get good setup options, things of that nature. Good revenge killers, good cleaners, things of that nature. So I wanted to basically build a team that did not rely on Mew, but Mew could just do whatever I wanted to. It could be my setup sweeper each week. So I went with Mew, Sylveon, Scizor because Scizor is a really good way of me breaking down the bulky darks with pivoting as well as Sylveon. I also have a really good way of baiting in the bulky darks in like Darkest Lariat for my Zarude, things of that nature. I had P2 primarily because I wanted to have a really good pivoting option that would force in the fat steals or the ghosts of that sort, so that way I could try to break them with Zarude, or I could break them with my Phalanx. I could use Phalanx to set up with it, which it does get no retreat. And then the rest of the team is pretty self-explanatory, right? T-Spiker, Spiker, I have a Defogger in Scizor, I have a Defogger in Thundurus. I wanted a Prankster Defogger so I could always have really good removal, but I also wanted a really good special breaker, so that's why I went for Thundurus. I have really good pivoting. I have like U-turn Scizor, Baton Pass. I have U-turn Zarude. I have Teleport P2. I have Flip Turn Dragalge, and then I have U-turn Volt Switch Thundurus. So I think the team works out really well together. I really like it. But for the week one game, what we're doing is we will be playing against Bub. Killua Boom. I don't really know how he pronounces it, if I'm being honest with you. I remember him when he was King Bub. You guys probably remember him from when he was King Bub on this channel too. Literally years ago, we were playing King Bub. So I've known this guy for a really long time. I love him to death. Make sure you guys go check him out. His links will be down in the description below as usual. But I really do like this guy a lot. So he has a really scary team, like a really scary team, right? He has Garchomp, Gengar, Mandibuzz, Prim, Metagross, Darm, Roserade, Hitmontop, Stunfisk, and Munchlax. Now, a couple things to note about this team. I'm basically going to be looking at D-Dance Mew every single week. Like, that's basically what I'm going to be looking at to see how I can get it to sweep and what I can get it to do. So going down the list of coverage that I would need Ice, I would need Ground, I would need Ice, I would need Poison, Ground, Ice. Can't really hit Hitmontop, and then Ice, and then can't really hit Munchlax. So I can hit everything really well with just 3 coverage moves, which means DD Mew looks really good. He also has a Garchomp, which if it gets up an SD, it kills everything. Smile. So I don't really have a way of beating that, especially if it gets up an SD and a Scale Shot. So I'm very scared of that. I can't really win with Phalanx because I can't break through Mandibuzz with it, which is really depresso espresso. And he has a Darmanitan, which I don't really have the best Darmanitan switch-ins because my water does not have reliable recovery. So a lot of things that I considered going into this game, but ultimately, you already know, D-Dance Mew, D-Dance Gunk Shot, Ice Punch, Earthquake. Can win. Like, it's tailor-made to win, right? So enough speed for Darm, rest and attack, a little bit of HP. Super self-explanatory, right? Next up, we have Thundurus with heavy-duty boots. This set I'm extremely proud of. I have enough speed to outspeed Gengar by 1 point. I have enough attack investment to be able to guarantee 2-shot Mandibuzz, but I also have enough attack to be able to guarantee Oko Mandibuzz after Stealth Rock if I get to +2 via Defiant. Now, why is that even a thing? So what I can do is if I'm ever expecting the defog, because I am Defiant, I can switch this thing in to try to prevent it, and then this thing just blows holes in quite literally the entire team. The only way they have to revenge kill it is with Choice Scarf Darm. So if I'm able to bring this thing in, get it to +2, I claim 1. And then that's really good for me. And as you can see, the last move on this is Scary Face. Why Scary Face? Well, as I mentioned, Garchomp is very threatening. So if it comes in on me because it thinks I can't really touch it, or my only way of touching it is like knock off or something, I'm going to Scary Face it immediately as it sets up an SD. That way, if it kills something, I go into my Mew, I click Ice Punch, and I kill it. And then I can knock off the following turn to get rid of Yache Berry to ensure that I kill it with my Mew. And then once I kill it with Mew, Mew has a really phenomenal time and a really easy setup for the rest of the game. So that was this set. I really like the idea of Scary Face. I really like it. Could save me in a pinch. Next up, Rindoberry, Seismitoad, Fizdef for Darmanitan. That's pretty much it. And then I have Rindoberry in case they're Grass Knot Metagross, so that way I can get off a knockoff on it and get rid of its AV, because I feel like they're going to be AV for my my Dragalge. I think that's going to be one of their main ways of checking Dragalge. Speaking of Dragalge, I have Assault Vest. This is going to be my Gengar check. I have enough Spadef investment to never be 3-hit KO'd by Shadow Ball if it's a Life Orb, I think. Something along those lines. But I know I can also take on Prim, kind of. I can take 2 non-specs Prim Moonblasts. Specs, I think, is a roll after rocks. Subject Dragon Pulse, Shadow Ball, Flip Turn. Flip Turn is huge this game. It allows me to get a lot of momentum, considering that their only switch into this is going to be Metagross. Metagross allows me to go into my Frog every single time, get a free knockoff, and then I can kind of sort of get him trapped in a little bit of a vortex that way. Really good Pokemon. And then the defensive investment allows me to be able to take on Darm, I think is what it was for. I built this team a really long time ago. And then Spadef P2, this is going to be my Prim check. Discharge, Foul Play, Recover, Teleport. Foul Play is there just for Garchomp. Discharge hits quite literally the rest of the team except for Metagross, which Foul Play also hits. And then Mixed Defensive Sylveon. Oh, also for Prim, I'm not 2-hit KO'd by Choice Specs Moonblast. Hydro Pump just blows me backwards. And then next up we have Sylveon, Fizdef to be able to take on Garchomp, Wish Protect, Hyper Voice, and Heal Bell. This is in case they are toxic statusing really weird, annoying Wisp, Gengar, toxic Mandibuzz, things like that. I could see them bringing a lot of status on their team, so that's why I had to run Heal Bell this week. I have enough special attack investment to always guarantee do 75% to Mandibuzz, I believe, if it's Fizdef, so that way if I knock off its boots, I can always kill it with a Hyper Voice. That is the team that we're going to be bringing. Let's go ahead and hop over to the battle. What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar. My voice just cracked really hard. I apologize. My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the ICP. This is going to be the week 1. We're going up against Bub. Pretty nervous for this week 1 game because, like, I really want to start out with a win. But I've been focusing so much on Legends Arceus that, like, I built this team approximately a week and a half ago, and I haven't really looked at it since. So that's a poggers. I'm not doing face cam because I haven't showered yet today, and I've been just editing, so enjoy no face cam, but at least you still get the layout. He did tell me the 6 that he's bringing beforehand, so I guess we're all set on that. Yeah, if you didn't watch the team builder or the draft analysis before this, go do that. Give me views, please. We're bringing DD Mew, we're bringing mixed offensive Thundy with Defiant. No, it's not mixed. It's fully physical with Defiant. Fat P2, Fat Dragalge, Fat Frog, and Fat Cat. I'm kind of expecting him to lead off with Darm, Metagross, or Stunfisk, all of which my frog handles. It doesn't handle, but I can do a good amount of damage to each one of them. I'm not overly worried about hazards in this game, like, because they just have a Defogger and Mandibuzz, which is so good. If I can just set up a DD with my Mew, I should be fine handling Darm. Okay, and of course we're playing Bub. I've known Bub for 6 years, something like that. Known him for a long time. So, let off with Gengar. I'm just gonna go right into my P2, and then I can teleport out depending on what they do. Let's see what kind of item he is. Goes for sub. I can always go for foul play, and I'll be fine. Like if he's sub-toxic protect, it's a little annoying, but I'm not overly worried about it. Goes for knock. Ooh, okay, that's cool. This is pretty much the only thing I needed this Pokemon for, so I'm not overly worried about it. You also can't really go into a whole lot on this. Foul Play is doing 66 to 78 depending on IVs, but he should be at 0, so it's doing 54. I'm just going to click Foul Play again. It prevents him from being able to stay in, it prevents him from going into Chomp, it prevents him from going into Metagross, prevents a lot of stuff. I also live a Life Orb Focus Blast from full, even after rocks without the Violite. And I know he's Black Sludge, he's not even Life Orb, so. This thing is still really fat, which is phenomenal. If they go into Mandibuzz, I'm going to click Teleport. If they go into Stunfisk, If they go into Stunfisk, I might go hard into my Seismitoad. Sub knockoff Sludge Wave. Nice. Amazing damage. Since he has knockoff, he has 31 attack IVs. I'm gonna click recover here. My Dragalge with Assault Vest is a little bit less than ideal, so what I'm going to do on this next one, after I recover up and get back to a decent amount of health, I'm going to go hard into that, and I'm going to click Flip Turn. I don't think Flip Turn will kill, though, but I can start firing off Dragon Pulses, which they don't really have the best switch into. Sludge Wave, this is going to bounce off. Might go for knock. I'm going to go for Shadow Ball just in case he tries to go into the Metagross and its AV. Because Shadow Ball will kill this. It'll do a lot of damage to the Metagross as well. Yep. If he's max HP, it's doing 35 to 41. Definitely Assault Vested. Now I'm going to go hard into my Frog, I think. Kind of want to go into my Bolt. How much does Thundy take? From Zen. Takes a lot. I think going into Frog is just the best play. Because I can always wish it back up with my Sylveon. I can wish my P2 back up. Unfortunately, without my Violite, P2 doesn't really take this thing on as well. Just don't get the attack boost, please. I've spoken into existence. I hate myself. I kind of want to go for knock. I'm gonna go for knock. There's a chance he might go into his actually I feel like he would go into this. He might go into Mandy. Knocking off Mandy's boots would be good. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna get up my rocks now. Now that I've knocked off the boots, I think it's pretty important. Also, he didn't have Grass Knot on Metagross, which is it is what it is. I was kind of expecting him to have Grass Knot on Metagross to be able to break Seismitoad, because otherwise Seismitoad is actually a pretty good check to it. Could go for U-turn here, expecting the Sylveon to come in. Goes for foul play. Goes to nothing, which is nice. I'm gonna go into my Sylveon here. I'm kind of expecting the defog, which is why I'm going into Sylveon. I'm not really expecting a U-turn. I'm more so expecting the defog because I don't think he wants his Mandibuzz to take 25 or his... He does go for U-turn. Okay. If he goes into Metagross, that'd be a worst case scenario. But knowing that thing is AV, it's either AV or Spadef, one of the two. Oh, right back into this. Okay. I'm going to go into my... I'm going to go into my Dragalge here. Part of me really wants to click Flip Turn. Since I know he can't sub here. I think I'm going to click Flip Turn. Because if he stays in, I'll get the slow Flip Turn. If he switches into the Metagross, I can drop in my Thundy. I can drop in my Seismitoad. I can drop in a handful of things, and I can start pressuring again. Goes for the Shadow Ball. I'm not going to kill with Flip Turn unless I get a really good roll. But I can go into my Thundy. Yeah. I can go into my Thundy and I can click U-turn with my Thundy. I could even just click knock off with my Thundy if I wanted to. At this point, he can come back in on rocks. I'm going to click knock here, expecting the Stunfisk to come in. No, he just stayed in and sacked off the Gengar. Cool. I don't know how I feel about him curse bodying my knockoff. I don't know how I feel about it. With Gengar gone, I don't have to worry about Curse Body for my Dragon Dance Mew. Kid Cudi. Look at Garchomp. I need to be careful. The only way he can kill me is with Stone Edge, I think. And even then, it's a roll. I'm gonna click Scary Face to lower his speed in case he's SD. Goes for EQ, nice. I'm gonna click U-turn now. Seeing that he went for EQ, if he switches out here, he could be choiced. If he could be banded because I outsped him to go for the Scary Face and I'm not Prankster, I'm Defiant. He does switch out. I think he's banded, if I'm being honest with you. This is really, really good. This is really, really good. Because what I can do is I can actually go into my Seismitoad if I wanted to. Or I could go into my Sylveon and I could wish up something. I think that's the better play. I think wishing up my Seismitoad is just slightly better. You could get up rocks. I don't really care. I'm gonna click Wish. And if he switches out here into his Metagross on the expected Hyper Voice, I can go into my Seismitoad pretty freely. I live any hit from the thing. I also think I put the wrong nature on my Seismitoad, which that's lit. Sure did. I'm an idiot. Max attack, Admin Zen, Headbutt is the only thing that somewhat scares me coming from that thing. I also do have Heal Bell on this, so if he is Toxic Spam, I don't really care. I do want to get these leftovers knocked off, though. Now, we're going to heal up the frog. Then once this thing is healed up, I'm in a really good spot. Because their team does not like Seismitoad. The only thing is Mandibuzz that kind of sort of likes it. But even then... Get up their rocks. That's fine. I'm going to click Knock again. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click Knock. If they go into Mandibuzz and they take the Stealth Rocks damage, they might take the opportunity to defog because they can set up rocks again later. So I'm going to go hard into my Thundy. And then I'm going to start doing, as the cool kids would say, clicking buttons. It's Thundy at +2, yep. They'll be taking 25 to rocks. They'll be taking a knock. Cool. Please go for defog. They either click defog or U-turn because they clicked really fast. Okay, they went for Roost. I don't think they're going to stay in here. I'm going to click knock off, getting rid of the leftovers on the Stunfisk. Boom. Nice. Did a good chunk. I think that Stunfisk is mixed defensive, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to click U-turn either way. Get a little bit more chip. That's some nice chip. And then I'm going to go into my Dragalge and I'm going to click flip turn. I do take 2 Earth Powers, but he's not going for Earth Power right here. I assume he's going to go for a Toxic here. And depending on what he goes into, I might try to wish this thing back up too, because this thing is going to be super annoying. Hey, brother, I'll take some HP back. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to go for flip turn. I definitely outspeed him, but if he stays in, he's going to be taking about 14% from the flip turn. I can drop in my Seismitoad on the expected Earth Power. I can even drop in my Thundy if I wanted to, but I'm really expecting the Metagross to come in. That's what I'm really expecting. Thundurus is about to have a field day. I forget who told me to pick up Thundurus. Maybe it was like a suggestion to get a big ticket Mon. I think it was Lucas who was like, "Hey, you need a big ticket Mon with Mew." I was like, "Lit. Thundurus is still there in like the 22nd round or some shit." I was like, "Cool, I'll get Thundurus. Thanks, Lucas. I appreciate you." I'm just gonna go into my Thundy, I think, because knockoff. I could go into P2 actually. I think P2's a little bit better. I think Thundy. Is knockoff to max HP, then 42 to 51. No, I'm just gonna go into this. I don't think he's gonna want to stay in on a foul play. Definitely don't think he's gonna want to stay in on a foul play. So I'm gonna be annoying and I'm gonna be slightly toxic and I'm gonna click teleport. If he stays in, he stays in, whatever. I have my workarounds. No, sir. And as the cool kids would say, I'm going to rinse, lather, and repeat. Do I do that or do I get a wish over to my seahorse? Nah, we'll be fine. I'm not going into Seismitoad. I need to keep it healthy for the Darm. I'm not going into my Mew just yet because I need the Mandibuzz weakened a little bit past about 60% for a +1 Ice Punch. I think now I'm just going to click Flip Turn again. If he stays in and I get the Flip Turn off, I'm going to go into my P2 and I can click Foul Play, kill this thing. I could even recover up on it if I really wanted to. Does stay in, nice. Here's what I'm actually gonna do. Because now that this thing is healthy again, I can actually Heal Bell, get rid of this, like get rid of the poison. Do I do that or do I wish up? I think going for Heal Bell is more important. Because if they go into Metagross on whatever, I go into Seismitoad. If they go into Darm, I go into Seismitoad. They go into Garchomp. I have my Garchomp check in, but I think it's banded, brother. Cool. Goes for Discharge. Can you para me? That'd be great. Para me. Hopefully, I don't come back to hate myself for asking for the para. But at least now you can't Toxic me. Go for Wish. I assume Metagross. Browse on Fleek. Sir. That is not a fun Pokemon to go into. If you could kindly not. So in order to play as safe as possible and not worry about paralysis, I'm going to go into my Seismitoad. If they go for Flare Blitz, I take 2 because of the Wish. If they go for U-Turn, I'll be back at full health, and they'll be at 50%, which is exactly what I need for my Mew. They click U-Turn and go into Mandibuzz. Say Levy. And we're for Flare Blitz, cool. Take a little bit more recoil chip. I'm going to click Poison Jab, expecting the Mandibuzz to come in. If I can get the poison on it, that'd be pretty nice. I'm sorry this is such a defensive game, but like I really expected to be able to get in my Mew a little bit sooner to kill everything, but I need Mandibuzz at about 50%. Let's see how much this Poison Jab does. Should do 8 to 10. Did more than 10, so I think he's not fully Fizz Def. So now I'm going to go back into my Thundurus. I'm really expecting the defog at some point too. I'm really expecting the defog at some point. He could do that, that would speed this up a lot. Okay, so now the Mandibuzz is in range of my Mew. I need to figure out a way to bait in... Excuse me, I'm dying. To bait in the Metagross is what I really need to do. If I can bait in the Metagross, I can set it with my Mew. And I can win. I'm going to click knockoff on this thing. Because I know I outsped it last time. If it's banded, I get rid of the band, and I live the Stone Edge. Ooh, no I don't. Never mind. Not because of rough skin, I don't. Right? Soft Sand. SD. Okay. This is why I packed Scary Face. This Mew does kill this with Ice Punch. Whenever Mandibuzz comes in, it'll be in range of Ice Punch at +1 at least. And if I can get the +1, I think even Metagross will die to an Earthquake. Goes for another SD. Brother. I'm gonna click U-turn here, because I'll get a little bit more chip damage off on this thing. And unfortunately, I think that my Sylveon is the least useful thing. Actually, no, my Seahorse is. What am I even talking about? I'm expecting a Scale Shot. I'm expecting something along those lines. Goes for EQ. Cool. Okay. So now I go into Mew. This was my failsafe this whole time. I click Ice Punch. He goes into Metagross. It is what it is. If he goes into Stunfisk and gets the Para... Goes into this, okay. he goes for a U-turn here, he dies to recoil. He dies to the switch out. So I'm going into my Toad. He dies to rocks, not on the switch out. English is difficult. Okay. If they go into Mandibuzz, I'm going to go into my Sylveon and I'm going to try to Wish Up. They go back into Garchomp. He hasn't seen all my moves yet. Goes into Mandy. Cool. I'm going to go into Sylveon and I'm going to try to Wish Up. No, it's not worth it. If he goes for Defog, I just want the +2. He just messaged me, GG. Did he run out of time? I haven't even been looking at the timer. That's a kill for Toad, at least. Oh man, he did run out of time. Holy crap. I really didn't think he ran out of time like that. Well, sucks that it goes down that way. I feel like I played super defensively this game, but I feel as though that's what I'm most comfortable with. But yeah, that is the game. We win 5-0 week 1 versus Bub. Kahlua Boom. If you guys could go check out his channel down below. Love the dude to death. Been friends with him forever. But with that, I'm going to go and get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.